What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Again, I have been making these videos on my Celebrity Junk channel about black men getting revenge on Dr. Umar. And when I mean Dr. Umar, I mean Dr. Umar Johnson. That has been spearheaded by a brother by the name of Brother Mark Cruz. And of course, ever since Dr. Umar Johnson has been coming after black men, as of recent on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew podcast, black men have been very disappointed with Dr. Umar. And that stems from the conscious stripper incident all the way from 2015. Dr. Umar had a lot of black men supporting him. And subsequently thereafter, that situation seemingly has lost a lot of support. You know, he's been hemorrhaging support from the black male audience ever since then. And now, because of Dr. Umar's inability to start his school, black men would like to relegate Dr. Umar, from what I understand, to a specific position. Now, before that, I want you to hear this clip. This is a brother here who is trying to make excuses for Dr. Umar and stuff like that. Let me play this clip and I'm going to come back.
This message is for all those people out there who are quick to defend Dr. Umar Johnson. I have a question that I already know the answer to. It's been 8 years and his school is not complete yet. Why is that? Now, don't take my word for it. Dr. Umar says the exact same thing. The reason his school isn't open yet is because his supporters only support him with their mouths. They don't support him with their dollars. Let's take YouTube, for instance. He has 164,000 subscribers. If each one of those subscribers donated $50 to his school, he would have $8.2 million to go towards his school. But no, that doesn't happen because people support with their mouths and not their wallet.
Now, I want to also play this clip of Dr. Umar speaking about affirmative action. And then I'm going to come back and kind of put it all together.
There is an organization called Students for Fair Admissions. It's a bunch of Asian students financed by a white supremacist. It's a bunch of Asian students financed by a white supremacist who wants to eliminate affirmative action in college admissions. The use of race in college admissions, is it constitutional or unconstitutional? Is the use of race in college admissions constitutional or unconstitutional? With Supreme Clarence Thomas on the bench, affirmative action and the use of race in college admissions will be overturned. That means historically black college and university. That means historically black college and university. That means historically black college. All HBCUs, I need you to listen. All HBCU presidents, all HBCU administrators, all HBCU board of directors, I need you to listen to your big brother, Notorious RBG, right now. I need you to listen up closely to your big brother, the Notorious RBG, right now. The HBCU will benefit from this, but Black America will still be hurt by this. The HBCU will benefit from the overturning of affirmative action because it will reinstate separate but equal on the college campus. It will reinstate separate but equal on the college campus. That means applications for HBCUs are going to go through the roof. That means HBCUs are going to start getting money from black students. But here is the problem. Because there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing, right? The HBCU is going to get more funding once black students start being turned away from the white colleges, rejected and denied, right? HBCUs get more students, HBCUs get more money. That's a good thing, right? So what is your problem then, Dr. Umar, with the Supreme Court overturning affirmative action in college? I'm going to tell you what my problem is. I welcome the HBCUs getting more students because we know retention has always been a problem for the HBCU. And I welcome the HBCU getting more of that student loan money because we know finances has always been a problem for the HBCU. But I got 4 concerns about this. Number 1, once black students are no longer required to be on the college campus, once black students are no longer required to be on the college campus, I suspect that the white power structure, in cahoots with the Asians, are going to start offering programs at white colleges that HBCUs will never get a chance to offer. Did y'all hear what I just said? They're going to create new degrees. They're going to corner the market in specialized training in certain areas. And if you don't go to a PWI, you might not get a chance to get a degree or a PhD or a master's degree in certain fields.
Now, why did I play that clip of affirmative action? Number 1, Dr. Umar is very brilliant when it comes to the issues that affect, let's say, HBCUs, the political structures. If you even want to talk about geopolitics, I believe that Umar, he can make really good assumptions about what can happen geopolitically or can predict it. And sometimes I've seen that he's been right. What am I saying here? A lot of black men want Dr. Umar to stick to what he is good at, which are talking about issues like affirmative action, talking about issues like Pan-Africanism. Okay? When Dr. Umar Johnson gets out of his wheelhouse, clearly what black men are trying to say is he's failing. And he's trying to reach into avenues in which he really has no experience. Now, I'm not going to say that I fully disagree with what he's talking about with interracial dating, because I'm definitely agree with what he's talking about when it comes to that, for sure. I am in 100,000% agreement about that with Dr. Umar Johnson. However, I honestly clearly feel that Dr. Umar Johnson tries to bite off more than what he can chew. And let's just leave black men out of it. Let's look at the school. Dr. Umar Johnson is a terrible administrator of ideas. Dr. Umar Johnson is an intellectual. He's a historian. But one of the things that he's not is a builder. And Dr. Umar Johnson tries to do that, and he fails very miserably. Builders of the black world, people like A.G. Gaston, people like, if you want to talk about in your current time, somebody like Tyler Perry, somebody like Robert Smith. These are builders of infrastructures, people who put together systems, people who know how to find talent. And see, those people are the ones who improve communities. And Dr. Umar Johnson fails in some ways, and I don't want to say this with any disrespect, but it seems like he has similar issues. And albeit Dr. Marcus Garvey had people looking to see him fail. I get it. But Dr. Umar Johnson would have no excuse. Dr. Umar Johnson needs to focus on what he's good at. And as what he's good at is not making commentary about, as it appears, trying to raise money for schools. Some black men feel like black relationship topics, protecting black women, which he clearly cannot do himself, And so what black men are trying to say, stick with the affirmative action, Doc. You know something about that, but when it comes to other things, you're completely, incredulous when it comes to that. You are not a person that has any credibility when it comes to those things. All right? You are distrustful, bro. You're dubious, disbelieving. And many times, because we have no standards in the black community, people like Dr. Umar, if he was any other community, like I would say, he would already be done. With that lack of effort, lack of productivity, he'd be out, right? But it is the black community, and we love our brother. But he has a home. It's just not giving anybody any real advice about how to run a black family or how to be a black man or how to protect sisters, because Umar doesn't know what he's talking about. That's how the black men feel. Albeit, I agree a lot with his personal points on race, on power, on economics. Black men are not buying it because they're going to say that Dr. Umar doesn't have what it takes. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think this is right? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all of you. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.